Here we are.
In another episode
of the Simple Success Podcast.
And
This is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
there's something that is seriously bugging me, John. Really, DT? I was just going to ask if something was bugging you. You are not. Whatever you say, my imaginary friend. Excellent, moo ha ha ha. Am I walking into something here? Of course you are. You are walking right into my question about wiser decisions. Oh, right, I forgot. What question was that again? Are you sure you're ready for this? Can't be that bad, can it? Well, we'll see. Here goes. How does stress affect financial decision-making?
Is that all you have got?
That's when we silence the alarms with knowledge.
Again, Daniel, again.
Practice now saying that you love it.
I think I'd rather get this week's episode going. How are you going to do that? By changing me, of course.
You change everything.
Is there more to that question, DT?
Well, yes, there is one very important thing.
What's that?
What is a poverty mentality?
As in the fear of poverty?
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
So what are the true qualities of a poverty mentality? Let's see how we can define it.
If you don't know the answer to your own questions, you can't possibly help anyone else.
Oh, okay. So let's start by defining poverty.
It's when people make decisions based on their fears and not on facts.
Oh, factual, not factual. Okay, let's go back to that. What are some examples of these fear-based decisions and why would they be made?
Let's take an example. Suppose someone wants to buy a house.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Why would that person want to buy a house?
Because they're afraid of losing money. They worry that they might lose their job, or they're afraid of having too much debt.
Okay, so let's look at that. Have you ever known of someone who went into a new home purchase thinking, I better do this because if I don't, I may end up with nothing?
No, but I have seen many people who bought houses that they did not need to live in simply because they feared losing their jobs. They thought they were just surrounded by bad choices and needed a viable solution.
Interesting. Now, let's take the opposite scenario. Suppose somebody buys a house they really need, even though they are concerned about making enough money to pay off their debts.
Okay, but we're not talking about real estate today.
We're not?
No, silly rabbit, we're talking about stress and financial decisions, intuitive decisions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, stress it is. You sound like you're pretty familiar with the subject.
I am, but I'm also interested in learning more about it.
Oh, good. Because this could lead us to another topic. Now, here's where it gets interesting.
Wait, are you going to teach us how to feel happy?
Not exactly. Let's put it this way. There's a lot of research out there about happiness.
Does that mean we can just learn to be happy?
What do you think?
Nope, it's not that easy.
Well, then what?
You have to decide whether or not you want to change. Otherwise, you'll stay stuck.
Well, yeah, changing isn't always easy. There are times when we may prefer being unhappy than trying something different.
So what are you saying?
I think he means that you should try it.
Oh, right, thanks, Alex. John, let's say that you're feeling down. Do you know any techniques for changing your mood?
Yes, I think I do. I'm going to tell you about two kinds of emotional changes. One kind requires no effort at all. The other kind requires work.
Work? Yuck. You'd rather have
what?
It's all a matter of belief.
You guys just do not let up with this positive thinking stuff.
Ah, yes. I see where you're coming from. In fact, though, I actually agree with Daniel. If you believe the world is full of good things, then that's true. However, if you believe that the world is full of bad things, then that's true.
And in either case, it's your choice, right?
Yep. So let's let everyone absorb that and prepare to make that choice before they even know it.
But after
Break number 1.
Hello, everyone. This is John with the Simple Success Podcast, financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Because we know you want to show us some serious love in return for the tremendous benefits you get from us. Please head over to the support link in our written show notes. That's the words on your podcast player. There, you can choose from a $9.99 per month doing level of support, a $4.99 knowing level, or a basic intro level of just 99 cents per month. Great place to start, whichever you choose. Thank you so much for helping us do this for you. And to leave us a voice message, which just might see the light of day in a future podcast, go to those same written show notes. You'll go to a site where you can leave a video, audio, or text-only message, depending on how you feel at the moment. You can also send us an audio file attached to an email if you use just more than your phone for stuff. I won't repeat those links because weird. And anyway, show notes. It's all in there, and it's all easy.
Give us a few examples of financial stress, John.
Okay, DT, you ready for the hard choices?
Yeah.
All right, let's look there first. Have you ever known anyone who felt pressured by debt collectors?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
How about someone who's afraid of becoming homeless?
That sounds very stressful, like serious fear of poverty.
That's right. Now, here's where things get interesting. Imagine you've been spending too much time worrying about these issues. You haven't taken care of yourself, and now you find yourself feeling worse and worse.
It's like being trapped in a vicious cycle.
Exactly. Now, maybe you decide to break that cycle. To do that, you might need to change some habits or cut back on expenses. Or both.
Change, cut back, both. Okay, thanks.
Now, let's take the next step.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah?
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you already are.
No, I meant, do you think that being stressed makes me more likely to get into trouble?
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Great. Well, does it help?
Does what help?
Being stressed.
Hey, wait a minute. Are we talking about something else?
No, not yet. But we should probably get an expert viewpoint on this.
And how would we do that?
With an expert, duh.
Actual learning opportunity detected.
Okay, and how do we do that?
Just call the guy.
Who?
Our expert friend. He's done this before.
Okay, calling now.
Hello, Michael. Please introduce yourself to us all.
How are you, John? So my name is Michael Haan. I'm a behavioural money coach from Sydney, Australia, and I've been dealing with money for over 30 years. But what I found with that is that if people didn't really have clarity around what they really wanted in life, that they didn't really understand how money was going to serve them. So in their view, they just had to make money and they had to make more money.
So they're not seeing the relevance to their life yet.
That's right, yeah. And they generally it's how they're brought up around money. I've just got to make money. I've got to make money. I've got to work harder because I don't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
And what we find is that, and I love your program, and it's around happiness. We find that people aren't bringing joy in their life because they're working the long hours. They don't have a vision for their future. They don't understand what really will create joy and happiness for them. So they're on this treadmill. So they're just going through life, and as they're working hard, generally speaking, there's relationship issues that come into that play, and they get to a certain point in their life and they look back and going, what has this all been for? I haven't been living my life. I've just been on autopilot and either trying to make lots of money, but for what purpose?
Right. There's tons of financial advice out there. You need to have this, you need to have that. But the why is what it comes down to.
Yeah, and the why, and it's really that's connecting with your inner self and really understanding what does bring you joy. What does your future self look like? And it's not around money. Money's a part of it, John, but money is simply just a part of it.
Okay.
So once you get a really good understanding of, again, what will bring you joy and living in the moment every day with that joy, with abundance, with vitality.
Right. A year or so ago, I was talking about the book Think and Grow Rich, which I do a lot, but I was talking about it to a meditation teacher. And she said, oh, well, that's all about physical financial wealth, right? I'm like, well, sort of, but Napoleon Hill even says in that book that most people are going to gravitate in that way, and that's fine, but it can also be about spiritual relationships or familial relationships. Rich is not just money. It's important, but that's not the only thing.
Yeah. And I call it this financial intimacy. So when a couple is starting out and starting their journey in life, that they're in love, and they don't talk about money. They don't talk about their values, their beliefs, what's important around money and how we can work together to achieve that. So there tends to be this friction. And an example of that is one partner will be a spender and one partner is a saver. And the savers wants to see a bucket of money for safety. And the other partner's going on spending money and living in the moment and enjoying life. And either there's friction when they talk about it or they don't talk about it at all.
And that there's a significant increase or potential increase in stress.
A massive increase in stress. Yeah.
So what do you feel is the solution?
So the solution is really, as I said, it creates that sort of depth in regard to understanding and supporting your partner in regard to their values, their beliefs around money. But as important, it's sitting down and going, where do we want to be in 10 years' time? Bringing a common goal together. I use the 5 L's. Where do you want to live? What do we love doing? What makes us laugh? What's our legacy? And what do we want to be learning?
The 5 L's, it rings a bell with me. And it's something that I would encourage people to practice.
What we find is that in life that a lot of people are on autopilot. So 95% of their life is run by their subconscious mind. They're not living life intentionally. They're living someone else's life.
So if listeners want to get in touch with you and learn more about what you do, what's the best way to do that?
So it's www.quantumleap-global.com. So they can do a financial wellness scorecard. They can actually see where they sit, some of the things, how money's playing out in their life. And they can get some strategies in regard to how they can start improving it themselves.
All right. So I appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks, John. All the best.
Well, that certainly grounds us on the topic.
Agreed, but
what?
are we going to do this guest thing again?
Yes, indeed, DT. We will do it. Do it till I'm satisfied.
Whatever it is?
Yes, that's what he said.
Hi, my name is John.
Hey, John.
Hi, Vina. We were hoping you could answer our questions.
But first, break number 2.
We know a lot about you already because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es bueno, simple. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too.
Can I simple that?
Por supuesto, of course. Just simple it.
Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened and your tray tables are in their upright position.
And make sure simple is a verb like Google is a verb.
Right, you are.
And tie stress into investing.
Of course, DT.
So why does stress cause bad decision making?
Well, according to places like the Booth School at the University of Chicago and Scientific American, psychology plays a very big part.
Anyone else?
Oh, sure, just little places like MIT and Princeton, to name a few. I put some links in the show notes for this episode if you want to look there.
And there's your fear of poverty thing.
Yeah, though actually it's not mine.
Napoleon Hill quote detected.
Thanks, Vina, but not exactly. Although it did come from Think and Grow Rich.
Is that why you say that psychology isn't everything?
One of the reasons, yes. But it's the way we can deal with the stress that really matters.
Okay, I'll bite. How do you deal with financial stress?
Hello there. My name is Veena. I am a certified life coach.
Wow, that's a great service, Vina. We should market that more.
Yeah, thank you, Veena. We're glad to have you as our guest.
Wait, we just had a guest.
Red flag detected.
Oh, don't worry, listeners. We'll get this straightened out later on today.
Meanwhile,
our simple solution?
Yes, and it starts with breathing.
Oh, not that again.
What?
Oh, being all calm and everything.
Okay, I'm following. You'd rather make money while being all tense and stuff. But this is a real offer, not some limited time offer.
Hee, sure thing.
Okay, tense investing it is then.
I was just kidding. I'll breathe now.
That's better. And just so you know,
Yes?
I'm not advocating any beliefs or practices here, just being calm.
Because?
Because that leads to better and more productive investing. These should be routine decisions.
Just like in any other thing you might do.
Yeah, it's really simple.
And we really appreciate this session today. Thank you for helping us understand our own biases.
Glad to be of assistance. So what's next?
Practice.
Good. And what else?
Repetition.
Yes, but what first?
Taking action. Doing something. Not just stressing, but doing.
Which is how you've all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
A la prochaine. This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries. The supporting cast who helps me bake the bread includes
Techno King, John C. Brandy, Fact Checker, Abraham Lincoln, Script Consultant, OpenAI, Language Consultant, Ever Evolving, Media Expert, Favor Abassi EK, Psychologist, William James, Rabbit Hole Advisor, Dr. Mark Barrett, Sound Designer, Goodly Amo Marconi, Videographer, Alfred Hitchcock, Inspiration, many podcasts and other sources, and of course Napoleon Hill.
We also have websites, and you can subscribe to both podcasts and get ebooks and other great stuff. You can send us a video, audio, or text message, but of course, you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to actually get links and stuff. And those clickable links are in the show notes.
And before we forget, the artificial intelligence or AI voices you hear in our work come from Google, Amazon Polly, OpenAI, and the online tone generator linked in the show notes.
Finally, you can find us on podmatch.com and matchmaker.fm, where we consider guests and guesting on other pods.
And really finally, the music for our pods comes from Cute by Ben Sound and from Piano Background by Nick Simon Adams. The sound effects credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Canoe CG, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything Sounds, MK Play More Stories, ERH, Sand Emotions, Big Pickle 51, and Just Kidding. Yes. That's his or her name, all on freesound.org.
Pull.